See him a beast when you hear that sound like yeah, beat on the beat when you hear that sound like woo. Yeah, bitch and the champ only need one round like ha. Yeah, me, I'm a G-Ring here and it sound like
Mike Owens here. Today I'm joined by Adam Cullen, who returns to action Cage Warriors Manchester in little over a week's time. Adam, always a place to sit down and chat. How are things for you today?
Quality, yeah. Feeling good. Ready to punch someone's head in. Simple as. Get me in there.
Look, you've said someone, and I think it's the best place for us to start because I'm struggling to pronounce your opponent's name. So can you give me a little bit of a lesson on how you say this guy's name?
Something spaghetti, something.
Something. Okay, good to know. Good to know. We've got on off the right foot with something.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know. I think it's Girlean. Girlean. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his first name, but we'll go for Girlean.
Girlean, right. So what have you made of your opponent? You had any chance to watch any tape of him?
Yeah, I've had a good watch. I've only known I was fighting him for the past week or so. I know he's from Verona. I think that's northern Italy or something.
Yeah.
Watched his fight. He's fought in Veneto, which is it's probably the biggest promotion in Italy, isn't it? So I had a fight on that. Last two fights, both wins, both stoppage wins. Yeah, he's aggressive. Tries to knock people out, and I'm excited for him to try and knock me out because I'm going to punch his head in. Simple as.
Look, the last time someone tried to knock you out was probably in D, and that fight ended in 15 seconds. So when you see a fighter who does look aggressive, who does look like he's going to come on the front foot and attack, how does that inspire confidence that it's going to be an easy night's work?
I never think it's going to be an easy night's work. To be fair, I'm up for the challenge though. I like it. I remember there was a good quote from Michael Jordan when he was talking about people coming to beat him at basketball, and he's always like, I took it personally. And like that's how I think. Like people sign a contract to fight me. I do take it personally and think you think you're gonna come and beat me and take my dreams away from me. Like, let's go. Like I am ready to hurt someone. The fact that he thinks he's gonna come to Manny in front of all my mates on my show and hurt me, like bring it on, because I'm gonna absolutely smash him to bits.
Look, we've heard this phrase a lot, Cage, next gen takeover. But obviously there's yourself. I believe there's four of you on this show. There's yourself, Luke Riley, Nathan Fletcher, and Liam Malloy. I'm not missing anyone else out, I don't think.
Liam Gittins.
Is Gittins on the card?
Gittins is on. Gittins fighting Rory Evans.
Oh, so he is, yeah. So he is.
And Gav Hughes. Gav Hughes is fighting Chris Bungard.
Oh, so did it. Yeah, I often forget Gavin as being a Cage Warrior, like because he's been in all the gyms around the city. So obviously Gavin's there as well. So there's six of you, probably enough stuff to take half the card. So what is the atmosphere like in the gym at the moment?
Quality, yeah. It's been boss all training together for the same date. It's just easier, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You're peaking at the same time. You're going through the same things, looking for opponents at the same time, cutting weight, and it'll be good on the night because I think 90% of the crowd's going to be there for us, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So the gym's been bouncing, to be fair, and I've loved training for it, and I can't wait for everyone to get in there next Saturday and just wipe the floor with everyone. 6-0 for next year, I think.
Manchester's a great venue where they do them in the bowlers, but I've got to ask, obviously it's only 50 minutes, an hour away, but do you think there's the possibility of a return to Liverpool soon?
There has to be, doesn't there?
Yeah.
We've got to get the Echo cards back on. The legendary Echo cards. I mean, we could do I think we could do a prelims and a main card, all with next gen fighters. So I think that's got to be coming soon. That's got to be. Maybe I'll have to speak to Graham. Do you know what I mean? Someone like you, Mike, who's got loads of money, needs to get like a little brown envelope, slide it to Graham Boyle and go, come on, get the Echo shows back. Everyone wants them.
Yeah, I don't. If I give Graham an envelope full of money, it'll probably just be coins. I don't think he'll be particularly inspired with what I can put in that card. But no, it is interesting that it's obviously a case of venues and all of that, but it is interesting that we've got 3, 4, 5 guys out of your gym who are peaking at the moment. Really riding the crest of the wave. It feels, as you mentioned there, almost like a homage to the times of Paddy and Molly selling it out. It feels like the time is right in the next 12 months before you maybe move on to the next part of your career to do a return to Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, even just inside the Cage Warriors divisions now, we've got like 4 of us that are all knocking on the door for titles. Like, obviously me, Nathan Fletcher, Luke, and Bonner, all looking to, but obviously Bonner get his title back. But do you know what I mean? What we're saying? 4 title fights on an Echo card, all 4 of us. I'm game on that. It'll be a smoker, won't it? But like you say, yeah, we're all at that point, aren't we? Where like we're all rising, we're all ready for that big challenge and big step up, and hopefully in the next 12 months, all of us will be going on to the UFC.
Look, I've got to ask, because you mentioned the title, obviously the man who owns the throne in your division, George Hardwick, is going to main event this card. Now, I know there's a massive mutual respect between you two, so I'm not going to go that way, but is it a tantalising prospect to know that the title in your division is up for grabs on the same night that you'll be fighting?
It's exciting for me, isn't it? But like, I get to watch them fight and compare myself. Like, that's what you want to do, isn't it? Stand there and really watch it and compare yourself. It's exciting to know that like that's going to be me very, very soon. I don't know much about who George is fighting, to be honest, but I think at the minute the wave he's riding as well, he's going to go in and smash anyone. So really, in my opinion, he should probably already be in the UFC, like for the work he's done and the performances he's put on. But I think without a doubt, he's going to smash this kid up, get signed to the UFC, and then that'll be my belt at the end of the year. So it's exciting to see, you know, them keeping it warm for me, and I'll collect it just after.
It does feel like a natural, sorry to interrupt, it does feel like a natural ascension though, doesn't it? Like George defends his title for the 3rd time on this card. Well, obviously that's more than enough to get the call up to the UFC, and then having you on the card as you say, the next guy to fight for that belt, it just seems to make a whole lot of sense, doesn't it?
I mean, it just seems like it's sliding into place nicely. Like, who else would you put in there aside me for the title?
Who do you think, if it's a vacant belt, who do you think's most likely to be squaring off against you?
So I don't think any of them deserve it. Like, who have any of them beat or done, or like no one's apart from me. They all have to make their own case for it, because I just don't think any of them deserve it. And plus, anyone else in the division already, they've already dodged me. So you can't. I don't think you deserve to get a title shot against me if you've already dodged me previously. So I don't know. That's up to Cage. What is whoever they put in there with me, I'm gonna snap the neck and take that belt anyway. So, but first I've got to get through this Italian. He's coming to give me a tough test, and I'll pass with flying colours, no doubt.
Look, you can't look past him. I mean, the guy who Nathan fought on New Year's Eve, was he Giordano, I think memory serves?
Yeah, Giordano.
He gave Nathan a hell of a fight. And anyone who's ever watched Nathan Fletcher knows how many skills that lad possesses. Do you know what I mean? So you've obviously maybe not too many fans know your upcoming opponent. We're struggling to pronounce the guy's name, but nevertheless, of course, it's very much for lack of a better phrase, a banana skin that you don't want to slip over.
No, like, listen, anyone who has got the bottle to sign a contract and come and fight, yeah, is game. Anyone with 5 professional wins and 1 loss can fight. Like, there's no doubt about that. I am not looking past this kid one bit. I'm going in there to seriously hurt him and stamp my name on that cage, what is Cage. I'm ready for anything he can throw at me. I know how prepared I am. Like, I know what I've been training for. I've been locked in this training camp. Haven't had opponents and all that, but I've been locked in and dedicated. I'm not thinking this is going to be a walk in the park or anything, but I know I'm levels above this kid, and I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going there and just put it on him fast.
I would imagine for most, if not all, of your fights, you've done most of your training camp without knowing your opponent. So let's say for the next fight is for a vacant belt and there's a name attached to it that you'll know you'll be fighting in 6, 8, 10 weeks. What is that going to feel like, doing a training camp with a dedicated name for the entirety of it?
Be easy. What I mean, like what? Waking up every day, knowing I'm fighting, knowing I'm preparing for. Like, you get that extra push in the gym where it's like, I am fighting whoever and he's coming to take everything from me. Like, I might feel tired, but you know what I mean? You got to get going.
Yeah.
So that would be the best thing that could happen for me. Like,
is it hard? Is it hard having a training camp and being uncertain of who your opponent is, though, because you can't train specifics in the way you could if you had an exact style to kind of be planning for?
It's definitely different. I mean, in them situations where you're like, oh, feeling sore today, maybe I should pull back and all that. Like, you've got to obviously imagine, like, it's easy when you've got someone who's on the, in another country or whatever, the other end of the country, preparing to take your head off to get that extra push to go, nah, get yourself in. But I think it just shows how disciplined I am, that, like, I haven't wavered even without opponents, and I've stayed locked in, because in my head it's not about this fight, it's about my career. Like, I know where I'm going. I want to be UFC champion. If I can't get up and put the effort in with or without an opponent, I don't deserve to achieve all my dreams, do I? So for me, it'll just be easier, I think, having that head pinned up on my wall, knowing that's what I'm gonna go and punch in about 12 weeks time or 8 weeks time, whenever they give me it. It'll be that much better, and I think it'll make the victory that much sweeter.
No, it makes total sense. Look, I wanted to talk about something that we brought up last time we spoke, and that was this confidence that's came out of you. Now, you tell me, and all the guys in the gym tell me, that that's always been there. But the way you're expressing yourself now with the crown and the French flag and all of that, it feels like you're letting yourself go a bit, and you're showing the confidence that has always been inside you kind of come to the fore. So can you just talk about how your confidence has developed as this early part of your career has kind of gone through, and where you feel like you're at now?
Yeah, I don't even know, to be honest. It's just like what I've always been like, and maybe I didn't bring it out, so much, especially like obviously COVID behind closed door shows and stuff like that. Like, but the people who don't, ooze confidence, for me, I just think that, for one, that's a weakness, and for two, it's also like, you're in the entertainment industry. At the end of the day, it only works if you sell tickets and you get people wanting to watch it. If that means I've got to wear a crown and make a dickhead of myself, fuck it. Like, you're asked. I'm just there to have a good time. Like, I love fighting. I genuinely love everything about fighting. So it's like, I'm gonna enjoy the whole experience for me, and I put the work in. So that's why the confidence is there, because I know how prepared I am. I know the work I'm putting in, day out. Like, it's not fake. Like, it's real.
It's not cockiness, it's confidence type of thing.
Exactly. I'm prepared. Like, I know how good I am. I know where I'm going. I obviously know how much improvement I've got to do as well, but I'm excited. I love that. Like, I just love fighting. I love everything around it. Like, you can see people who hate training camps, hate the weight cuts, hate the weigh-ins, hate doing interviews, stuff like that, and they just like the fight. But it's like, but the fight's like 1 day, 3 days every year, max 4 days every year. Like, fucking enjoy the whole thing, you weirdo. Let your hair down.
Well said. Well said. With that being said, you look to the future there. Obviously, we're at the start of April now. Obviously, the prime focus is getting the win on the 15th. But what are your goals for the next 12 months? Like, where would you like to be come 1st of April, 24?
You asked me this last time, and I said he's 7-0 and have the Cage Warriors title, but so I'm not quite. I've missed my goal last time, but I just want to be as active as possible. Active with tougher fights. Like, I want to constantly be up in the level of my opponents. I want to test myself. That's what I'm in this sport to do. Constantly test myself. If you end up biting off more than they can do, and they test too much, at what point you end up getting beat? Sound like I'm into that. Like, I want to know if I'm good enough or not. That's why I want to fight tougher and tougher competition. So this year is all about the competition for me. Every year I say I'm going to have 4 fights, and it never happens, but I actually genuinely want 4 fights this year. Keep raising the level, keep raising the bar, and who knows, end of the year, I could be absolutely anywhere, couldn't I? But if I keep performing, keep disciplined, keep racking up the wins, keep racking up the experience and the competition level, the sky's the limit.
And with that said, excluding George Hardwick, given the mutual respect, what is your message to the rest of the Cage Warriors lightweight division?
I'm not even asked, they're irrelevant. I'm the main man in the division. I'm running the division at the minute. Like, I'm sick of calling people out because none of them even want it. Let's wait for them to come to me, because if they're not fighting me, what are they doing? Because I'm the fucking top dog. It is what it is.
good of answer as you could have given, my friend. Look, I wish you the best. It's always good to catch up. It really is. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it to the fight in Manchester. I've got another.
Ooh.
Well, I thought you'd say that, but I thought I'd let you know rather than not tell you.
Rather than let me down.
Of course. But look, I wish you the best of luck on the 15th, and look forward to speaking to you in the not too distant future.
Nice one, Mike.